Emma is a really calm dog, and she helps us relax at the end of the day, just like any dog would. But she also helps us because we know she's kind of keeping track of our son, and that she will come and get me if he's doing anything that he shouldn't be doing. She's really gotten to know us pretty well, which is really nice. She kind of follows him around a bit and keeps tabs on him. So she'll come and get me if he goes outside, which is really nice. So if he goes outside to go play and I don't know about it, next thing I know, Emma's going to be right there kind of to tell me, hey, you should be paying attention, which is really nice. What else about you? You're very calm. You're very nice. She's good for my stress level too, because it's hard, when you have a child that has to work that much to overcome what's going on with them. It can be really stressful to have different people around the house, and she's definitely another member of the family that helps us all stay grounded and stay calm. And she gives us comic relief when people are working with him and things are starting to get tough. Sometimes she'll just appear out of nowhere. Other times I think people are on their best behavior when they're around a nice dog. So I think that kind of helps me. It's another set of eyes, when they're working with your kiddos. So I think that's another nice thing about Emma.
3 things about Emma.
She's... what?
He's a dog.
She's a dog? What else?
Yeah, play with balls.
She plays with balls. What else? What does she help you do? Does she make you laugh?
Yes.
Does she help you go to sleep?
Hi, I'm Steven. I've had my Arizona Golden's dog, Emma, for 1.5 years. Emma's my best friend. She's funny and fuzzy and cool. She helps me keep calm, be safe, and even talk better. We go to the grocery store and to the Apple store together. My friends love her. She's the best dog for me. Thanks, Arizona Goldens.
Hi everybody, it's Shar and Emma here. Oh, hello. To talk about Emma at her 1.5 year mark with our family. It's been about 1.5 years since we first had Emma placed with us for our son with autism. And I just want to talk a little bit about what it was like to have Emma in the process of getting her and some of the things that she's done for our son, Steven. So anyway, Emma was matched with Steven. She was one of 3 dogs that we tried out. And Emma was a match. Emma was the one that Steven said could stay. So we were matched with Emma with Brian and AZG Goldens. And my impression of the boot camp process was that it was a matching boot camp where they wanted to test our skills and see what kind of a dog would work best with us, and see what kind of dog would work best with Steven. And right away, there's a couple things that I noticed when Emma was here the first day. She automatically had this effect of calm over our son. She also had the effect of having him relax enough so that he could speak, which I thought was really interesting and something that I completely didn't expect from a dog. After 1 year with Emma, our annual test in our boot camp was about as I expected. I mean, I was pretty well prepared for what was going to happen during our test, and we had our information that was given to us beforehand, and we studied on it like a test. And then we got a chance to go out in public and test our skills and see how I handled Emma and how Steven handled Emma, different commands that we would give Emma during our test to sort of show that we could control her and that we could work with her and have her do some things with Steven out in public. We've taken Steven and Emma together to the grocery store, taken them to the Apple store together. They like to go to the mall together. Some places where it's just been too hard for Steven to go, Emma would go initially, and then we would fade Emma so that he could go on his own. So she's a great introducer of different public places that at one point would have been difficult for our son, but now are no problem at all. The first thing I noticed after placement with Emma is on Steven's sleep. He used to get up in the middle of the night and he would stay up for sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 hours. But Emma, if we brought her into his room, we found that he would go to bed within the hour. So that was one of the big deals, that Emma was able to get him to calm down and go to sleep and stay asleep for the rest of the night. And she also is really good at alerting me if Stephen goes out someplace where he's not supposed to be. There was one time during the monsoon where Stephen had gone out into a ravine behind our house, and Emma came inside and alerted me when I was in the shower. So Emma will come and get me if Stephen's someplace where he's not supposed to be. So that's another really great thing about Emma. She's been quite the great member of our family. When she's in our home, she blends just like any other animal would, any other house pet. But she's specially trained that she will go and interfere with my son if he starts to stim. Say if somebody comes around for a play date and Stephen starts to kind of go off into his own little world, Emma sort of has a way of rounding him back to the group, which is something that she just kind of picked up on her own, and she just intuitively does for him, which is really nice. He hasn't had any tantrums or any meltdowns since we've had Emma. It's been a remarkable thing, and I don't know if it's her calming presence or what, but not one. We used to have him about once a quarter, either if he was feeling sick or if he was having a particularly hard time with something. We haven't seen him at all, which is really cool. So we've seen differences in Stephen's socialization, his ability to socialize, his ability to speak, and his ability to connect with other people. Our first dog was, I felt, overwhelming to Stephen, and after our dog passed away, we just couldn't find any other dog that wouldn't overwhelm our son. So that's where we turned to Arizona Goldens and we asked them, would you be willing to place a dog with a kid like ours? No place else in the state would, because they just thought for some reason that the kids would be a danger to the dogs, or maybe it just wouldn't be a match. But Brian and Debbie and Shelley from AZG Goldens, had faith, and they came out and they interviewed our family, and they looked at their dogs to see maybe who would be a fit, and we were able to make a match between Stephen and Emma, and we were able to see over time that Stephen started to speak more, he started to misbehave less, and that she was a real bridge to him and his other 8-year-old friends who would come over. Nothing is better than a giant golden retriever for a friend to come bounding in, or to go chase a ball, or to go swimming and splash in the pool with. So she really was a connector of him and his friends. It just added another thing, is that Stephen's had a lot of help. He's had a lot of therapies, and he's had a lot of people in his life that they do a lot of therapy with him, and it was really hard for us to find a motivation for him. There was no toy, there was no snack, there was no nothing that would really be a good reinforcer, because after you've gone through early intervention, it's really hard sometimes to find those things that really motivate our kids. And Emma was right off the bat somebody who was really rewarding. She was a friend to him. She was somebody who was very non-threatening. Whenever he was upset, he would go over to Emma and he would sort of nuzzle up with her. Even if he was mad at me, he would be able to, bond with the dog and be able to take her outside, and they would go play. And she, no matter what, was always a friend. So there's a few other things that I could say about Emma as a dog. She's very special. She's very intuitive. She has a lot of skills that probably most dogs don't have. And I don't know if that's just a factor of her personality, or maybe part of her training that she's had. I know Brian and the team at AZG Goldens and all of the puppy raisers take their training very seriously, and then they always spend a lot of times with the dogs. They always make sure that they know how to do their commands, and you can tell that these dogs have been worked with a lot, that they're really good at what they do. And I appreciate a well-trained house dog as much as anybody else, and that's definitely, Emma has great house manners, and she's really good. You saw the occasional growl when somebody comes to the front door. She's become quite a protector. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of the feelings that I had about Emma in a year and a half that she's been in our home. It's been a real blessing. I can't imagine our life without her. Completely didn't expect a lot of the changes that we saw in Stephen, and if you would have asked me a year and a half ago what I thought that this would be the results, You know, I never would have believed it. So it's definitely worth the process. Look into it and see if it's a match for your family. See if, you know, there's a dog out there for you. Because if you find one and you have that great match and that great connection, it really, really makes a difference in the core deficits of autism. And that's something that I really didn't expect. But, you know, we're very grateful for. So thanks, AZ Goldens. See you next year.
I've seen a huge change in Colton, and I wasn't totally sold on how much Lana would help us. I was hoping that she would, but without any quantifiable data, it was more of a wish than a concrete fact. But he has adopted her as a best buddy. He'll say, "Come on, Lana, let's go outside," or "Let's go dig in the sandbox." And I've caught the two of them playing in the mud together, just the happiest things you've ever seen. And I had to hose them both off. He loves snuggling with her and has just, as I said, adopted her as a good buddy.
We've seen a decrease in the amount of meltdowns and the length of the meltdowns. When she does have them, we just bring Harmony right over to her, and even if Heidi isn't wanting to touch her or pet her to help her calm down, just Harmony being there helps her to calm down faster. And we've noticed an increase in her language. Just having to give Harmony the commands and have to actually talk to her to get Harmony to do what she wants her to do has been awesome, because she's been talking so much more.
Good job. Good job.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good job.